What does God want us to feel? The question I'm asking. What is the feeling language in this passage? Did you hear any feelings in this passage? What were they? Say it. You can say them out loud. No judgment. What? Someone was right. Yeah, that's it. Fear. 3 times it's mentioned. Overcome with terror, they fled from the tomb. They said nothing to anyone because they were afraid. If you've seen me do this before, I'm sorry. So Mark's gospel ends right here. Your Bible is going to have 2 more endings, but everybody and their brother knows that those are not the real endings of Mark. The ancient fathers are like, these are not it. Some scribe was embarrassed that this is the ending of Mark, and they added 2, and that's what ended up in our Bible. Now, there's 2 theories about why it ends right here, because everyone's scandalized. Jesus just raised from the dead. The angel says, go tell the disciples something, and the women are like, no. And they don't say anything to anyone, and they're totally afraid. The greatest story in history, you don't want to end with the women being afraid. There's 2 reasons it might end here. One is because that's why Mark wanted it to end here. He just ended it here. And the other one is that scrolls were tricky technology. So here's a scroll, and you start reading it. This is the top. And you start rolling it up at the top. And if you've ever been to Blockbuster when they had VHS tapes, people didn't rewind. They weren't kind. They didn't rewind. And so the end of the scroll would always be out, and they'd be carrying it around, and it would just get jostled and banged up, and sometimes they would get torn off, and sometimes we lose the ending of things. And so the 2 theories is either that Mark meant to end it here, or it got broke off and we don't have it. Either way, this is the ending we have. So for today, I'm going to assume that this is the ending that Mark wanted, but I just wanted to give you the archaeological explanation of why it ends here for everyone. And if this is where Mark wants to end it, then we have to talk about fear and afraid and terror and dread. And here's what I think Mark wants to convey if this is his ending. The only thing more terrifying than a world with a dead Jesus is one where he's alive. The only thing more terrifying than a world with a dead Jesus is one where he is alive, because an alive Jesus changes everything.